A fifth straight winning day and a fifth straight 15-dime winner last night as Philadelphia rallied in the fourth quarter to get the win and cover against Houston. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Friday video report. Last night, the Eagles getting the job done. 15-dime NFL releases now. The past 3 years combined, 30, 15, and 2. The Eagles last night, the Falcons over Green Bay on Sunday, and 15-dime plays in the NBA Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Jazz over Milwaukee on Monday, Boston over Cleveland on Tuesday, the Jazz again, this time over the Indiana Pacers on Wednesday. Those 15-dime plays in the NBA and college basketball, 6-0 this year, 14-3 the past 2 seasons combined. Remember, 99% of my plays are rated between 5 and 15 dimes. Now, I've got to tell you, though, I wasn't the only guy who had a good night last night. I mean, there are a lot of red-hot handicappers, among them Anthony Red, who, I like to talk about Anthony a lot in these videos because, as I always say, if you look up in the dictionary, Ballbuster, you'll find Anthony's picture next to it, absolutely. Last night, matter of fact, I only got back a little while ago, and I'm going to be heading to the airport here very shortly, but it's about 2:30 in the morning here as I'm doing this video for you. Was over at the Palazzo at Lavo, their Italian restaurant. Pretty cool place, I got to tell you. Italian restaurant. They have a nightclub up on the second floor. One of the typical Vegas restaurant, dimly lit. You need to wear a miner's hat in order to see the menu. I mean, literally. I mean, they have little candles on the table. You have to be holding the candle up in order to read the menu. It's probably so you don't have to see the prices, but actually it's not badly priced, all things considered, for a Vegas hotspot, and gets very good reviews and very good food as well. But we were there, and Anthony, he had 2 plays last night, went 2-0. One of them happened to be the over. Well, I gave you the over here as a free pick. And FYI, those free football selections, college and pro combined, the past 4 weeks I've won 20 out of 27, including a 10-0 sweep the past 3 Saturdays combined, and winners Monday night on the Niners and last night on the Eagles over. So you knew that game was going to go over last night. I mean, they had 30 points combined at halftime, and then Houston scored the 2 quick touchdowns in the third quarter for another 14, so definitely it was going to be heading over, and as you saw, it did. Of course, once the over was coming in, I had to hear Anthony just start busting my chops. Why did you give out the over for the free pick? You should have used it as the real play. That's what the gamblers want. I'm going, thank God. I just want to say thank you to Brent Selleck, the Eagles tight end. I don't know if you happen to see that incredible drive-extending catch that he made down on the 5-yard line late in the game, where he extended for the catch, rolled, and before his ass hit the ground, managed to push the ball and hold it out over the 5-yard line. Eagles called for the review. The officials overruled the play on the field and gave them the first down at the 5. 2 plays later, Eagles go in and get the game-winning and game-covering, I should say, touchdown. So the over comes through, the Eagles come through, but still, if they didn't, I'm telling you, when A-Red starts busting your chops, whew, it's unbearable sometimes. But Anthony, though, 2-0 sweep last night, cashing in with the Phoenix Suns. That was his big play, actually, 2.5-point road dog that went out right at Golden State. Listen, A-Red, past 8 days, since last Friday, 399 dimes net profit. The last 36 days, his net profit, 757 dimes. Another guy that's been hot, who also happened to be at dinner with us last night, he lives in Vegas, Shawn Michaels, 6th straight football winner, 5th in a row in the NFL. He had a 25-dime winner on the Eagles last night. Another guy, Chuck O'Brien, who, early this year, he was without a doubt probably the hottest handicapper in this country in the NFL. He won 19 of his first 22 side selections this year. But even then, I told you, and I've said this many, many times, that handicappers are no different than the teams and the players that you are analyzing on a daily basis. You're prone to winning streaks and losing streaks. Well, there was no way he was going to keep up that winning percentage. It's like baseball pitchers that, have a great first half of the season, and immediately everybody starts bringing up, hey, could he be the first 30-game winner since Denny McLain? The law of averages always dictates that it isn't going to happen. And it hit that way with Chuck as well. Didn't exactly hit the skids, but suddenly that 19-3 run, he hit a couple of losers. But last night, swept the board, 30-dime best bet on the Eagles, 10-dime play on the total. So he is now 23-12 with his NFL side selections this year. In his total plays, all sports combined, he's won 21 out of 30. And, I'm just thinking of something. I got to tell you a quick little story. So I'm up doing a TV spot in New York a couple of years ago, and Denny McLain happened to be there as a guest. Now, Denny McLain is like, this big. I mean, he's giant. He's not that thin, trim athlete that you saw in your baseball cards if you collected them back in the 60s, okay? Now, I didn't see him in his prime. You know, I remember collecting his baseball card, I think, when he was finishing his career, maybe with the Oakland A's or the Atlanta Braves, Texas Rangers even, but... You know, he was, let's just say he was a little standoffish, a little aloof, not exactly Mr. Conversational. Then he found out that I was a sports handicapper. Well, then it was like, couldn't shut him up. Who do you like in this game? Who do you like in that game? Remember, I gave him 6 games that I liked. I hit 5 of them. I was sure that he was going to track me down somehow afterwards, but interesting guy, Denny McClain. Also, quick props going out to Chris Jordan, 3-0 sweep last night for him. Arizona State, the Eagles, and also cashing in with the Suns on the money line as the 2.5-point road dog, winning outright. Listen, Chris is the winningest handicapper at these sites, hands down. This year, if you bet just $1 per unit he's released, you would have won $14,432 this year, and over the past 5 years, you would have won $31,780. Enough said. Tonight, I want to talk about a couple of different games for you. As for me, my only play tonight is going to be back in college football. The Illinois-Fresno State game, the Illini losing in the final seconds of play last year in Champaign. Can they get revenge tonight on the road, laying 5.5 to 6 points? That's my best bet on tonight's board. Scroll down the page and you can get it as I look for a 6th straight winning day. The other college football game tonight, of course, is the Mid-American Conference Championship game. Northern Illinois taking on Miami of Ohio, neutral site. It's played at Detroit's Ford Field. The Huskies are red hot. They've won 9 in a row, going 8-0-1 against the spread in that stretch, averaging 46.2 points during that 9-game winning streak. Miami of Ohio, their opponent, more or less backed into this game by virtue of Ohio losing last Friday. Miami of Ohio, an okay team, a decent defense, not much going offensively, playing their backup quarterback for a 3rd straight game because their starter is out with a ruptured spleen. I like Northern Illinois in this game, but, you know, a little hesitant even with them laying 18 and a half points in this game. So lean toward them, but not going with them as a free pick. Also, another game I thought about in the NBA tonight as a free pick, maybe going with the Dallas Mavericks, catching a couple of points at Utah in a battle of 2 teams that have each won 7 straight games. Although I have to warn you, even though I've taken the Utah Jazz twice this week as 15 dime plays and hit them both on Monday and Wednesday night, you know, the Jazz, those 7 opponents they have beaten, they are combined 11 games under 500. However, they've owned Dallas at home in Salt Lake in this series, winning 5 in a row by an average of almost 13 points a game, out rebounding them by almost 7 a game in that stretch. However, this is a Dallas team that's constructed differently. They can hammer the boards and clear the boards and hold their own down low in the paint. With the addition of Tyson Chandler, who's playing great here the past couple of weeks, and also Brendan Haywood, who they got last year, who comes off the bench. However, at the point guard spot, Williams against an over-the-hill Jason Kidd, too big of an advantage for the Jazz, so I lean toward the Mavs, but not enough to pull the trigger there. Where I will pull the trigger on a free pick, that was in college basketball. Going to take Villanova minus the big number against St. Joe's in a City Series Big 5 clash in Philadelphia. You know, this is the youngest team and most inexperienced team Phil Martelli has fielded in his 16 years at the head of Hawk Hill. God, Phil Martelli. God, I was doing high school basketball games for cable TV, doing play-by-play when Phil Martelli was a high school coach. That's how long both of us have been around. But this is a young green Martelli coached team, a team that lost 2 nights ago to Drexel University 62-50, a game in which the Dragons really could have won that by 25 points if not for the fact that they only hit 2 out of 13 from three-point land and missed 11 out of 25 free throws in that contest. Where they really dominated, though, was on the glass. They out-rebounded St. Joe's by 23. The offensive glass owned a 17-4 advantage. You know, Villanova not only has depth, not only has talented scorers in Corey Fisher and Corey Stokes, but they also have some size. Not a lot of size in terms of Big East teams, but more size and more strength under the boards than St. Joe's does. And Villanova, of course, looking to rebound, coming off a loss to Tennessee in the NITs at Madison Square Garden last week. So I like Villanova tonight to win this one somewhere around 23, 24 points and get the cover. That'll be a freebie. I'll be back Saturday morning with more college football. Remember, 10-0 sweep college football freebies past 3 weeks. Good luck, everybody. Catch you again tomorrow.